The 2016 Glacier Ridge Vineyard Pinot Gris is a wine that some of our longtime fans might think is a mistake or is a wine that shouldn't exist. We've talked about Glacier Ridge Vineyard as our primary red vineyard source for years, and a red site that we love in all of its iterations. Starting in 2016, however, we did begin to get a bit of Pinot Gris from the site, and a bit of Riesling as a side note. The Pinot Gris is beautiful. It's from the old plantings on the farm that we just started getting access to this portion of. And we decided to treat this wine with the care that we would treat the reds with as well. It's a wine that gets beautiful whole cluster pressing, really delicate, really gentle, to counterbalance how big and weighty the vineyard site is. And then it gets racked to barrel and allowed to ferment on the full solids, as if it were a Chardonnay in some ways. We don't make a Chard, but this is the nearest version of it from us that you're going to see. Compared to the other Pinot Gris that we make at Red Newt, this style is a little bit more generous and voluptuous. It has a little bit of the neutral French oak impact. It's not going to be over the top, but you'll notice it's there. And the wine itself is just really enjoyable. We first released it in a holiday pack in around the 2020 holidays. And the reason was that it's a great holiday wine. It reminds us a lot of, we'd like to think of a great Burgundy. It has the texture and the weight in the body to be beautiful with roast meats and roast poultry, as well as just enjoyable on its own. And the trick with any white wine made from a great red vineyard site is that we have to keep an eye that it doesn't actually get too ripe in the vineyard on us. Pinot Gris, as the name would imply, the Gris means gray. The grapes come in with a bit of color, and depending on the site in the Finger Lakes, that can range from a really light hue of pink to maybe a little bit darker. From Glacier Ridge, these grapes come in looking almost like Pinot Noir. They're so dark in color. But once the wine gets pressed off and made in the way that you're seeing in your glass, you see it just has a beautiful golden color to it that I think is part of the appeal.